Welcome back to the MVP podcast, the People Show, where we talk about the most valuable players in the world of sports. My name is B-Man. I'm here with Tariq. I'm here with Sosa. Boys, how are you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm playoff ready.
Playoff ready. What about you, Sosa? Are you playoff ready?
I am good, man. I am ready to go.
Ready? Cool, guys, because we're going to talk NBA. The playoff starts. Well, for us, it's tomorrow. But for when we dropped the video, it was yesterday. So the NBA playoff started yesterday.
First and foremost, before we get into the playoffs, guys, if you like the video, subscribe if you're new, share with your friends. We do appreciate all the love and support. We've just exploded in the last couple of days.
Yes.
Shout out team.
Yeah.
Go with that. We appreciate that. B-Man, tell me what the hell's going on today, man.
So we've been saying this we've talked about doing this for like over a year and a bit now, because we wanted to do it in last year's playoff, but we missed it, which was to do our own bracket, which basically is who do we think is going to advance all the way to the finals. However, we've decided to split it up as per request by Sosa, and I thought it was actually a really, really good idea. We're just going to focus on the first rounds. Gives us more time to talk, gives us more time to analyze, gives us more time to beep. I was going to swear, but I might as well just cut it out right here, right now.
Just go for it, man. Don't be hopping out of this.
No. I will. Anyway, so, Madam, I suggest we start off with the Eastern Conference, which is I was actually really excited about the East, right? But let me tell you first who's going to play. So we've got the Bucks against Magic. We've got Pacers against Heat. We've got Celtics against 76ers. And we've got the Raptors against the Nets. Tariq, please do me the honors. Can you first tell me who do you think is going to run through the first round?
In each game?
Each
series, sorry?
Yeah. Each series, yeah.
So I believe the Bucks and the Raptors easily.
Yeah.
And then the Celtics.
Yeah.
And the Miami Heat.
What about you, Sosa?
Yeah, no surprises there. Like that's the first four teams I see going through to the next round.
I just want to change one of them. I want to change the 76ers.
Always got to be different.
But you know why? I thought, Sosa, that you would be the guy that was going to say the 76ers. You asked for Ben Simmons to be somewhere else so that Joel Embiid can flourish. I thought this would be it. This is the chance to really stand behind the Cameroonian mountain. You know what I mean? This is a chance, Sosa.
I'm all for him getting to play for himself, but the problem is, let's talk about this series first then, because this seems one to be hotly contested.
Yeah.
This series, is all based upon, like, I'm taking the Sixers for one reason, and that's because
the Boston Celtics.
Sorry, the Boston Celtics for one reason. It's because I don't trust Joel Embiid enough to take it to him. Like, God's honest truth, hand on my heart, if you had to say to me, yo, is Joel Embiid going to be that guy for all those games? I couldn't do it. I can't. They got too many weapons at the Celtics.
Yeah, but why is everyone sleeping on Tobias Harris like he's actually not a very, very, very good basketball player?
Nobody's sleeping on Tobias Harris, man. Nobody's sleeping on Tobias.
No, you guys are sleeping on Tobias Harris. You guys are sleeping on Tobias. The only problem is now is who's playing point guard? Who's going to control the ball? Shake Milton? Raul Neto?
Shake down.
That's my only disappointment. But at the same time, I just think that Joel Embiid is going to cause him the most problems. This is a sneaky pick. I am going to go with the 76ers to go through.
Here's a question. You're talking about Joel Embiid being stopped, yeah?
Yeah.
Who is going to stop the Celtics' wings? Like, their primary defender on the wings is Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
So when there's no Ben Simmons, guys like Kemba Walker, Marcus Smart, well, maybe not Marcus Smart, but Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, going to go off. Who's going to stop them? Who's going to keep them quiet?
Yeah, but I don't think the Celtics have been all of that either this season. Although I am actually kind of happy that Jason Tatum has actually proven that he can actually be that guy. But
how about this?
You're taking away from Joel Embiid and you're giving to the Celtics. The argument is always you're going to win the argument all the time if you're doing it.
It's going to be that case right now because there is no Ben Simmons to balance it.
Yeah, but now we can do what you said they should have done, which is just keep dumping the ball to Joel Embiid and let him control the game.
I said in that last video that they should get something for Ben. They've got Ben's out, so there's nothing to replace him.
I know what you're saying.
T, tell me, what was your reason for taking the Celtics?
For me, it comes down to the coaching, to be honest. I think Brad Stevens is a much better coach than Brett Brown. I have no faith in Brett Brown whatsoever.
I'm so trash.
I think this is it for him. As soon as they go out, like whenever they go out, whether it's the first round or not, he's gonna get fired. Like I think he's coming to the end of the road. And I just think Brad Stevens is probably going to end up schooling him. They don't have enough shooting, Philadelphia. Obviously, now that Ben Simmons is gone, they don't obviously miss that, but they'll miss his defense. But I just don't trust Brett Brown and the whole Philadelphia team. I don't think he's going to have the right game plan. I expect Brad Stevens to have a game plan for each game, like moving along, but Brett Brown just doesn't seem to have it, man.
Why? Do you know what? Not why. The Raptors will definitely go through, right? But what is the appeal with the Raptors? Why is everyone still siding on their corner, even though they did just lose one of the all-time greatest Raptors, although he's only been there for a season. He still is one of the all-time greatest Raptors to ever play the game. Why are people still so high on them?
Oh, it's the cast, it's the lineup. It like even though that Kawhi is gone, like we've seen throughout the regular season, it wasn't just Kawhi. I mean, even with Kawhi when he was there, he was playing, every other game. He was, rested for quite a while. So they still had to do a job without him. It's just obviously with him now officially gone and it's just them, they've really stepped up. And a lot of the guys, like, you didn't expect them to step up as well as they did. Like guys like OG Anunoby he's flourished getting into that role, especially with the players around him. Don't even get me started on Pascal Siakam, man. That guy's incredible.
Yeah, no, they just play like a really, really good style. Like they're so efficient. They're fundamentally good. They play the right way, defensively, offensively. They're just a team, like collectively. I compare them to like the style Golden State Warriors play, but without the superstars.
Yeah.
So they don't have the star names, but they've got a system. And like anyone who comes into that system, even players you've not heard of, they've got a lot of guys who've come into the team. I just played that system so well because Nick Nurse, I think, is a really good coach. So anyone who comes in plays a role. Everyone's got a role. They play the right way. They don't beat themselves. Like they hardly make many mistakes. Like it's hard for them to like be beaten by another team because they don't commit many turnovers. They don't make that many errors. Like they just defensively sound, offensively sound. Good 3-point shooting team. They keep making the extra pass. Just the way they play is it's very, very efficient.
Do you think they're going to be able to replicate that in the playoffs, though?
I think to an extent, yeah. I don't see them overcoming like probably the Milwaukee Bucks. They can probably beat the Celtics, I'd say. But I think the Bucks might be a step too far because they're quite similar and they've got a little bit more star power than them. Last year they just overcame the Bucks because of Kawhi mainly. Yeah. He did a good job on Giannis, like on both ends. So I don't think they'll have enough for the Bucks this time, but I think they'll give anyone a good series.
Is there any one series out of these four that could potentially give us the upset?
If you mean upset from seeding wise,
not from seeding. You mean
because I was going to say
ability from just a basketball standpoint.
Yeah, not really, because like the only game that probably before like they did Miami versus the Pacers, like before they played each other, you thought, okay, this is going to be a really exciting game because TJ Warren was going off. Mm-hmm. A lot of the guys, like they seem to have found a rhythm, and you expected the Miami Heat to actually go at them and try and lock them, and they did. Like effectively, they showed, okay, slow your roll. You're not that good. So when it comes to playoffs, I'm just going to see more of the same. And even though technically the Pacers are highest seed, I don't see them progressing.
Yeah. Okay. Do you know what? Let's quickly touch up on the Bucks and Magic, right? What do you think? What do you guys think is going to be the score by the end of it all?
Do we have to? Like, is there any point?
Sweep.
Is it going to be a sweep?
Where's the broom? Where's my broom, man?
Yo, guys. Was it not Magic last year? Who did they beat in the first game?
The
They beat
Pistons?
no,
Raptors.
they beat the Raptors in the first
Ra-
game. I'm just saying. I say Bucks in about 5, not in 4. I think they'll lose one game. Vucevic,
Sweep.
Vucevic is due one big game. One big game. Just
games. Sweep.
All right, guys. Should we move on to the West? I think the West is going to be a little bit more talkative.
Oh, yeah. Oof. The West looks dangerous.
Okay, so let me tell you guys what the West is looking like right now. So we've got the Lakers playing the Blazers, who won the play-in against the Grizzlies. Rockets against Thunder. We've got Nuggets against Jazz. And lastly, we've got Clippers, Mavericks. Sosa with the sauce. Can you first tell me who do you think is going to get through to the second round?
So with this, I had to make a note of this. So I had Lakers, I had Nuggets, I had Rockets, and I had Clippers. Boring.
What about you, T?
Okay. Lakers,
Yes.
Nuggets,
Yes.
Clippers.
Yes.
It's that last one that I'm a little bit, now that Westbrook's out for at least the first game or so, I was going to go Rockets. I'm now thinking could go either way, but I'll just go with the Rockets. I just think Harden will come through, but I think it'll go 7.
What have you got?
I've got the Lakers, I've got the Rockets, I've got the Nuggets. It's the last one that really bugs me. I wanted you to be the guy, but you didn't do it. One of us needs to buy in. Someone needs to buy into Luka. I'm gonna buy into Luka. Forget it. I'm buying into Luka. This is his coming out party. This year is his coming out party. He's gonna make it tough on the Clippers. This Mavericks team took this bubble serious enough. I think they're game ready. I don't think the Clippers are game ready. I think the Mavericks might take it in 6, but then we can't talk about the second round. But
Here's the thing.
Mavericks.
I desperately wanted to pick him, but the problem is Luka's great and he is all-world offense. But these guys have got so many bodies to throw at him, man. So many people to just throw at him.
But that's good for the Mavericks. That's so good for the Mavericks.
But in the end though, it's gonna wear him out. Like when he gets to a point where he's gonna be having to face, like imagine being guarded by Pat and then all of a sudden switched onto by Paul George and then switched onto again by Kawhi and then switched onto again by Morris. Like
You're forgetting. They're in the bubble. If they were traveling, maybe I would have said, all of this gonna, brother, the guy's gonna get guarded by 7, 8 different people. He's gonna walk for 15 minutes and he's gonna be home.
But it's not even that, though.
Again in 2 days. That's gonna make a massive difference.
It's not just that though. You know, it's not just that.
I know it's not. Because
they've as much as Luka's great, there's gonna be a big reliance on Kristaps because he's going to be their second best player, and then they've got to try and find some sort of game plan around that. Whereas with the Clippers, they don't even need a game plan. Just play your 5 best players, and then when it comes to bringing on their bench, Lou Will, Montrez is just going to dominate. I know Montrez is coming back from an injury, but his energy alone will shake things up.
I think it's
just too deep, man.
It's disrespectful to Doc to a certain extent, because we simplified the game plan a little bit too much.
We did. But that's the thing about this roster. This roster allows so much flexibility that they can pretty much do what they want to. The only thing they're missing
That's a problem.
The only thing they're missing is like a real point guard that's going to run the floor for them. Like they got Reggie Jackson, who I don't know. You're probably going to have Kawhi Paul George just running the ball most of the game.
T, you tell me.
The Clippers are going through. Like, I don't think there's any doubt about it. The problem is you need to understand 3 of Luka's worst games this season came against the Clippers. I know the regular season games shouldn't really be included into this, but the Clippers beat them all 3 times and held Luka below his usual field goal percentage. He struggled the most because they threw so many different guys at him. The thing is, I expect Luka to overcome that and have a good series. He might even average a triple-double, but the Mavericks as a whole are not stopping the Clippers. They've got too many players that can score. And Mavericks, one of the best offensive teams, but defensively are very weak.
Yeah.
Like once if the Clippers lock them down, I trust Kawhi, Paul George, and the rest of their cast to step up. They've got too many players who can go for 20 or 30 in that game. Where the Mavericks are going to rely way too heavily on Luka. And obviously, it's his first playoff series. He's going to see a different defense. He's going to see some different looks every time. He's not going to be used to it, so it's going to be an adjustment for him. I trust him to do well, but I just don't see Mavericks going through in any way.
All right, let's move on. I think we can kind of skip the Nuggets Jazz. I feel like it's kind of, although we all picked the Nuggets, I wouldn't really be surprised if the Jazz took it either, because I think it's kind of like a toss-up. I think the problem with both the Nuggets and the Jazz is just that they don't have a recognized superstar. And I am a believer that it is going to be extremely hard for any team to win without a superstar. It's happened a couple of times, but it hasn't happened so many times. So
so are you saying Jokic is not a superstar?
He's not a playoff superstar. He hasn't proven anything in the playoffs. So until he does, until he's like a top 5 MVP candidate type of player that does it also in the playoffs, then I don't wanna hear it. I really don't. T, you mentioned the Rockets and the Thunder. Tell me why were you on the fence between the two teams?
I think because the Rockets, obviously, we know how they're going to play. They're not really going to adjust in any way. It's full-on small ball. They're going to go for the threes. And I just think Steven Adams could have a big series because of that. I don't think anyone can guard him. So because of him, Chris Paul, obviously, he's got a lot to prove. He's going to have a chip on his shoulder. He's going to be fired up for the series. And on top of that, they've got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Dennis Schroeder. They've had a really good season. Like, you can't underestimate. No one expected the Thunder to make the playoffs. But I just think their style, I think they can go in different styles against the Rockets. The Rockets are going to play one style every single game. Like, they're not going to make many adjustments. For them, it comes down to the superstars. Like, James Harden would have to go average at least 40 in the series.
Yeah.
Especially depending on how many games Russell Westbrook misses. With Westbrook, I would have said, yeah, the Rockets would probably win it in less than 7 games, to be honest. I think them two would have been enough. But the amount of games Westbrook misses means the burden is on Harden a lot more. And he's going to have to score a lot more points, get the team involved a lot more, and they're going to live and die by the three-pointer. That's the problem. And I just think Thunder have different styles to play, and they're going to make it hard for them. That's what I'm going to say. I fancy Harden to do it. That's why I said it's just 7 games. They may just edge it, but don't sleep on the Thunder, man.
Okay, let's move on to the last one. So Sosa, Lakers versus the Blazers. How do you think that game is going to go?
I'm gonna be kind to the Blazers and say they'll get one. But it's just gonna be, it's just like we know what we've seen what the Blazers have been able to do recently. They've been able to go off. Dame's been able to just go mad. He's had teammates to actually assist him now in these games. But the problem is however good they are offensively, their defense is trash. So when it comes to actually playing against a team like the Lakers, who are excellent defensively, how are they going to stop AD? How are they going to stop LeBron? Like how? Like I can't see them getting more than one game.
Okay, T, you jump in first.
Yeah, I see the Lakers going through. It's not going to be that easy. I'm going to be a bit kinder to the Portland Trailblazers and say they'll get 2. I think Lakers win it in 6. But to me, it's the same, much of the same stuff that Sosa said. The defense is really not good. Like they were giving up 130 plus points to the likes of Brooklyn Nets, who didn't have any of their star players. Like most of these games that they were winning, why does Dame have to go for 53 and 61 for them to win games? That's a worry. Like we're looking at that thinking, he's offensively he's amazing, but he shouldn't need to do that for them to win games. And most of the games they played were against teams who were already in the playoffs, so they weren't even probably playing to their full capacity. They probably weren't playing hard enough. But even then, those games were all close for the Blazers. Like Dame had to go crazy for them to win. They lost to the Clippers, who rested Kawhi Leonard, and then took Paul George off in the 4th quarter, and weren't even trying to win that game, and still ended up losing. So I don't see them stopping LeBron and AD. Like Lakers,
come on, boys, man! Come on, boys!
When we come to the playoffs, defense is the most important thing, and Lakers have been a consistent top 5 defense in the league the whole season. But when they lock in, they'll do it, man.
Just to kind of end it, right? Just as a counterpoint, one, although you guys are right when you say that defensively they're very poor. Sosa, I think Nurkic could do a quarter of a job to try and stop Anthony Davis. Emphasis on quarter, right? But he can do a job. But at the end of the day, whether Lillard scored 61 or 53, did they not win at the end? And they did. Those threes make a massive difference. It's the way that I see it is, T, I'm with you. I think the Blazers will get 2. But I think the Lakers are going to have to really, really dig deep to try and get rid of this team. I think out of the bottom 4 teams that they could have had out of the Blazer, Thunder, Jazz, and Mavericks, I think the Blazers was the worst for them. They play up-tempo. They come at you.
I mean, stylistically, it's a nightmare for them.
No, I completely agree. This is obviously the worst team the Lakers could have got, especially in the 8th seed. They would have much preferred the Memphis Grizzlies. And the Blazers will make it really hard for them. And I think their offense is going to cause Lakers a lot of problems. And Lakers' shooting is obviously a worry. But I just think with LeBron and AD, I think they'll guide them through the first round.
So anyway, Mandem, I really appreciate you guys. We're going to do this again when the second round is about to start. So people...
Guys, if you like the video, subscribe if you're new, share with your friends. We do appreciate all the love and support you give us. Again, shout out to everyone who subscribed recently. Thank you very much for that. B-Man, lead us out, please.
And we'll be back again soon, so peace.